Max Verstappen finds himself in deep trouble with the FIA once again, and Sergio Perez's sack-worthy performance put him in danger of having his brand-new contract taken away from him. To top it all off, McLaren's very own Zak Brown exposed the team's tendency to enable bad behaviour. Let's see how the weekend went for the defending champions in today's video. Get in there, Lewis! The 7-time world champion ended his streak with a historic 9th victory at Silverstone, marking an unforgettable British Grand Prix. Rain showers added drama with frequent tyre and lead changes, but Lewis Hamilton's seasoned Silverstone expertise prevailed. He outpaced former rival Max Verstappen to claim victory, marking his first win since the 2021 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. This makes him the winningest driver on a single track in Formula One history, edging out Michael Schumacher's record of 8 wins at the French GP. But, as everyone was distracted by Sir Lewis's record-shattering victory, Red Bull has been fined 3 times by F1's governing body, the FIA, due to incidents of Max Verstappen speeding in the pit lane before the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Despite the penalties, Verstappen finished second in Sunday's race. He has now extended his lead over McLaren driver Lando Norris, who secured third place at Silverstone, to 84 points after completing 12 races in the 2024 season. Despite suffering a damaged floor during Saturday's qualifying session, Max Verstappen delivered a strong performance in variable conditions to secure his 11th podium of the year. However, the 3-time world champion faced challenges, including 3 pit lane speeding infractions that led to Red Bull receiving 3 separate fines. All of Verstappen's infractions happened during the pre-race reconnaissance laps, when drivers are allowed multiple passes through the pit lane before lining up on the starting grid. Verstappen's first and second offences were for exceeding the pit lane speed limit. Following the race, Verstappen expressed concerns about potentially finishing as low as 5th or 6th at one point, pointing out Red Bull's struggles with pace at Silverstone. He said, "We just didn't have the pace today. I was slowly dropping back when it mattered in the beginning, so it didn't look great at some points. I was really thinking, are we going to finish 5th? 6th? But we made the right calls. Going from the slicks to the inters and also from the inters back to the slicks, it was the right lap every time. And then also, at the end, the call from the team to be on the hard tyre instead of a soft was definitely helping me out. That's why I think we also finished second today. So it could have been a lot worse, but we're making the right calls. We still got onto the podium, and I'm of course very happy with that." Nothing went right for the reigning champions, as Max Verstappen has explained that he suffered major floor damage following a dramatic off-track incident early in qualifying for the British Grand Prix. He mentioned that this damage prevented him from competing for pole position. During the opening Q1 phase, Verstappen lost control of his Red Bull at Copse Corner while transitioning from intermediate to slick tyres in a changing wet-to-dry session. His car went off track and bumped over the gravel trap, leading to the damage. Despite managing to recover and qualify 4th, behind Mercedes drivers George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, as well as McLaren's Lando Norris, Max Verstappen admitted that the incident had huge consequences. "It was just a bit unlucky in Q1 that it started to rain for one lap going into Copse," he said afterwards. "I already slowed down but still lost the car, so of course then almost crashed. I kept it out of the barrier, but a lot of floor damage from then onwards. I think the team did a great job to try and repair as much as we could, but some bits were missing that you can't really glue on, you know. From there onwards, we were just really fighting with the balance of the car. Naturally, the floor is of course a massively important part on the car. At the end of the day, I'm very happy to be P4, to be honest." This week, instead of fighting against other drivers, Max chose to pick his fight against the media. Max Verstappen implied that the predominantly British makeup of the press and former F1 driver pundits creates a bias, citing their reactions to his collision with Lando Norris at the Austrian Grand Prix. Verstappen asserts that a significant majority, 80 to 85% of the Formula One press is English, and that most pundits are British. He believes this led to Lando Norris receiving support following their incident at the Red Bull Ring. He told the Daily Mail, 80 to 85% of the press in F1 is English, so you have quite a dominant force with that. In the back of their minds, most would prefer their national driver to do well, or in the case of an incident, naturally pick the side of their countrymen. Ex-drivers, most of them are British, so it's a bit of a one-sided affair. That being said, Max Verstappen acknowledges that everyone is entitled to their opinion, but he maintains that neither positive nor negative opinions affect him. "I don't listen to whatever anyone else has to say criticising me or being positive," Verstappen said. I'm here with my team and the people who are involved with my success. They're who I listen to and speak to judge my performances. Everyone can have their opinion. That's fine. That's not going to define how I live my life off track or how I behave on it. This ability to shut down critics should come in handy as Zak Brown voiced out his disdain for Red Bull's approach during the British GP weekend. Could this be a strategic move by the McLaren Racing CEO? As they enter a potential title fight after years, Brown's criticism of Red Bull makes it clear that a competitive mindset is taking hold at the Woking-based team. On Friday, Zak Brown was asked if he wanted to confront Red Bull team principal Christian Horner about what he perceives as a lack of respect from the Milton Keynes-based squad in their approach to racing. This is what he said. "That's the FIA's role. I don't really have any interest in speaking with Christian." Reflecting on last weekend's incident and the clash between Red Bull's Max Verstappen and McLaren's Lando Norris, Brown's position on where he assigns blame hadn't softened when he spoke to the media several days later. "I was disappointed such a great team like Red Bull, that the leadership almost encourages it, because you listen on the radio to what was said," he said. "We all have a responsibility on the pit wall to tell our drivers the do's and don'ts and what's going on in the race. So I think we need to have respect for regulations, and we've seen there's a lack of respect, whether it's financial regulations or sporting or off-track issues with fathers and things of that nature." Speaking to the media on Saturday morning, Brown mentioned that a radio message to Verstappen after he finished fifth in Austria had irked him. Verstappen was reportedly told that he had done nothing wrong, which Brown found frustrating. At the end of the race, and I don't know who it was on the radio, I think it was Christian, but I don't know, I'd have to listen to it again. They had told Max he had done nothing wrong. And that Lando was, I don't remember exactly what, way out of order. I didn't think Lando did anything wrong. I don't think anybody thought Lando did anything wrong. Things are going to happen on track, but I think we need to all be honest with each other and our drivers. But to lay the blame in front of everyone at Lando, when I think it was clear it wasn't Lando's fault, was just inappropriate. I think it's okay. We all make mistakes in life. Own your mistakes. Sergio Perez's disappointing performance at the British Grand Prix not only fell short of expectations, but also sparked speculation about the security of his position at Red Bull. His 17th place finish at Silverstone has prompted serious questions regarding rumoured break clauses in his contract with the team. Currently in sixth place in the driver standings with 118 points, is lagging behind his teammate Max Verstappen, who leads with 255 points. This gap not only surpasses the rumoured 100-point limit in Perez's contract following the Belgian Grand Prix, but also puts him in a precarious position, trailing Verstappen by more than 5 places in the standings. Christian Horner has been direct in addressing the current situation. His call for Sergio Perez to elevate his performance is a clear message that reflects the team's stance amidst intensified competition from rival teams. Speaking ahead of the race at Silverstone, Horner commented, "That's a brutally hard question. But of course, at the point that you sign a driver, the contents of any agreement are not going to be disclosed to all of you lot. So it made absolute sense to sign Checo at that point in time. But this is a business in which there are pressures to deliver." If you were in Christian Horner's shoes, how would you fix the chaos going on at Red Bull? Tell us in the comments section down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.